Welcome to Hot Flash Chronicles, where midlife is messy, menopause is madness, and we're sweating through it together.
We're Angie and Shelly, two caffeine-fueled, slightly inappropriate grandmas who say what everyone's thinking.
So grab a drink, crank up the AC, and let's dive in. Angie, guess what? I know.
Guess what? We're going to dinner?
Well, at some point. But before that, it's time for another wonderful episode of the Hot Flash Chronicles.
Woohoo!
I know.
My favorite time of the week.
I always love getting to do this because it's fun.
Same. Because we're a riot. Just ask us.
Just ask you. I don't even know if anybody else of the tens of people out there listening to us think we're amusing, or maybe they think we're mentally ill, and they could be right on both counts. I don't know. It's whatever. But we're going to have a lot of fun today because we're going to talk about something near and dear to both of us.
What is it?
Music.
Ta-da!
Through the decades.
Oh.
I know. I thought that.
We've lived through a lot of decades.
Yeah. And there's been musical trends and things that have happened that have been great and wonderful. And the thing I like about music is it doesn't matter what anybody else likes. You can like anything. And there's so many different kinds of music to like.
I know. There's lots of genres.
No right or wrong. Yeah.
And through the decades, the genre has changed. Like if you think of country in the 70s and country now, it's like wildly different.
It is. It's everything kind of evolves. Sometimes it devolves. But, there's revisits. There's, as my British husband would say, Renaissance.
Renaissance?
Not Renaissance.
Does he really? That's adorable.
You could say there could be a Renaissance. And there's different trends and things that happen. And sometimes you revisit old things. But I know, I have loved singing and have loved music for as long as I can remember.
Right.
I started singing, at the same time.
I love that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
It's always been important to me.
My mom, when she was a child, they were reprimanded for singing at the table.
Ooh.
So she said, when I grow up, my kids are going to get to sing at the table. So we sang at the table a lot
I love it.
when we were kids. Or if we were doing house cleaning day, chores day, we would blast The Doors or Neil Diamond. Barry Manilow was a solid one. Who was you are so Crocker.
You are so Joe Cocker.
That's the one.
Yep.
But we would blast that and sing a lot. And music has always been really important because it was important to my parents.
Yeah.
So
now my parents were not gifted in the singing department, but they loved music and they had very different musical tastes. So when I was young, I was exposed to lots of different kinds of music. I was born in 1965, so, that 65, that's just when the Beatles were getting ready to happen. Folk music was kind of a thing, but we were also getting into the Janis Joplin.
And Janis Joplin.
And just different kinds of rock. There was some evolution going on there. And Jimi Hendrix, The Doors. So a lot of, and my aunts who were younger than my mom, they were listening to a lot of different kinds of music around me. So I had this wide variety of music that I was exposed to. And my mom loved country, Western music. That was her jam, which we're talking
one of the few that I don't love.
Porter, I don't know either. But it was Loretta Lynn, Cole Porter, Lynn Anderson. Some of the older, more Waylon Jennings, that kind of country.
I don't even know these names.
Because my mom listened to
them.
them.
That's great.
And then my dad, who was a little bit older than my mom, this was interesting. Because if you knew my dad, this would be a surprise. He loved Motown. So we're listening to Smokey Robinson, Miracles, Aretha Franklin, and
I love that.
Yeah, and Gladys Knight, the Pips, the Fifth Dimension. So lots of variety. And I tended to like the music of my father more than the country western, which was always
contracts.
Yeah.
My parents liked the same kind of music as each other, at least so I assume. They had a lovely stereo with a record player, and we had a vast amount of records that we could pick from to sing. My dad, actually, he's a wonderful singer and performer. He's actually won multiple karaoke contests, or they were on a huge cruise ship, and he won the Voice of the Ocean was what it was called, and he got
I love that.
he got a trophy that was the the same as the voice. It's very cool, but he is a crowd pleaser. He is a performer. He loves it. He preens. He's like, he does the
I wonder where this one got it from.
I know, shocker. And my mom has always said it's a couple things. It's just as important to know where your gifts aren't as where they are.
Yeah.
And every performer needs an audience. So I think my mom has a great voice, but she is not super confident in her singing.
A lot of people who are good singers just don't feel like sharing that.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. So I was raised with a love of music and, Beatles and all of those. Very, very big Neil Diamond family. Remember my dad and I's she was one of my bridesmaids. My dad and I's first dance was Forever in Blue Jeans.
Yeah.
Because that was the song that he used to sing to me when I was a little girl. Yes. So that was like our song, and I surprised him with what song it was going to be. He didn't know what it would be, and he got super emotional. It was very sweet. Music can really hit you in different places and different times of your life, and it can fulfill something.
It makes those memories, like you're talking about. You can hear a song and it will transport you back to that moment, to a special moment. And I think that's the power. There's a lot of power in music. And as both of us being singers in our hobbies and in our lives, how much of a story and how much of an impression a song can make on its audience.
Totally. And like, I remember when I was going through my divorce, that song Jar of Hearts came out. Like, who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are going around?
Yeah, that's too high of a tessitura for me. But
collecting hearts.
Yeah. So that song, I just literally played it on a loop. And I was like, who do you think you are? And it was like my anthem for months. I literally would just play it over and over and over. And my stepson was like talking to my ex, like, I don't think mom's okay. She's listening to.
Still listening to.
He was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Just like, she's real messed up.
But it's not. It's like
it was my way of healing, and I'll hear it every once in a while. Like, that was a rough minute, but now like I'm way better for it.
Yeah.
But music can help carry you through good times and bad, or you can have songs that you associate with somebody, where it's like it makes them think of you. Like anytime I hear Christina Aguilera is beautiful, I'm always going to think of you because we sang that together in a quartet.
Yeah.
And she rocked that song. It was so beautifully done that anytime I hear that until I'm 170 or however old I live to be, I will always think of this one because it was.
Yeah, that's a normal.
I'm optimistic.
I remember like there's songs I associate like with when I had a breakup. There's songs I associate with my children, like singing things to them when they were little. So it creates all of these memories and these attachments, which is why I feel like it's so powerful. And then I also feel like it's just a thing that can carry all those kind of really big feels, but it can also just be very liberating and fun. There's some music that you just hear it and it just makes you happy, and
or like you have to sing.
Like
there's songs where like
ABBA, ABBA was one of those groups that always had like fast-paced, kind of fun music, and there's just different groups that hit, like you'll be in the mood to listen to a certain.
Yeah, what was it? Yesterday I was taking a shower and I listened to Shallow with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
And I was just belting that song and I was and I was like, Alexa, just keep repeating this song. And I was they're just like rocking out. And I'm like, my husband's downstairs like cooking breakfast because it's Sunday morning. And I'm like, what is he thinking? Just hearing like Lady Gaga on repeat. And I'm just like belting at the top. He probably didn't hear because he was watching TV. But it's like in that moment, I was like, I just wanted to like rip through that song over and over.
It can be cathartic. Like listening to a song and doing just what you did. Like I feel like a lot of times when I'm in the shower because there's good acoustics.
Oh yeah. That's why people stand in the shower because the acoustics are amazing.
You're warmed up and there's warm air. One of the ones I like is, I know you'll hear this called I'm a Creep, I'm a Weirdo. Is it radio? I
think it's Radiohead. Yeah. I don't think you're wrong.
I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo.
So as I was singing Shallow in the shower, I don't karaoke. You know this about me. It is my own personal hell. Because I think if you need 10 shots of tequila to hold a microphone and sing into it, please don't.
No,
Like, that's
usually a bad choice.
My shoulder does a lot of creeping. Speaking of creep, but if I'm not going to perfectly nail a song, I'm not picking up the microphone.
Yeah.
So I've actually talked with my cousin as a voice coach, Ted. He is the bass in her quartet. And I was like, do you know what I need? I need a pocket ringer that anytime somebody asks me to karaoke, I know I'm going to fucking nail it. Every note is going to be perfect. It's going to be a crowd pleaser. And I was like, oh my God, what if it's shallow? God damn it, it's a duet. Oh,
darn.
So I'll just have to bring this one to be Lady Gaga every single time.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'll be Lady Gaga. I'm sure she'd be flattered.
Do you know what she would be? She would be like, wow, I didn't do the song justice compared to Shelly.
I wish I would have heard Shelly.
Do you know what else I would love to duet? You Don't Bring Me Flowers. That's Neil Diamond and Barbra Streisand.
Oh, I love that song. I know the Barbra part.
Bring me flowers and in. Yeah,
tell you goodbye.
Apparently this is a singing episode where
You're welcome. Episode.
You're welcome. We're gonna sing for you.
Yeah, whether you want it, you might want to turn this down, or you might want to crank it up.
You might want to be like, we should sign them a record deal. Screw the podcast.
Yeah, why aren't these two ladies? Why aren't these grandmas on? We'll put the word grandma in our name of our group. Grandma's rocking the shit.
Yes,
the name of our band.
Grots.
Sure. Why not?
It's rocking the grots. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
sidebar.
So when I was a teenager, I was very into the hair bands, like Guns N' Roses, Poison,
Motley Crue,
Metallica,
Rat.
Which was like, I didn't listen to Rat. Tesla.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry. Sorry, that was a band before it was anything else.
Yeah.
Twisted Sister, Quiet Riot, all of those. I loved those. And then I got real deep into the grunge. Like Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, all of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, all of those. And I'm still living in that.
Okay. So Angie, while she was grunging, she was being a grunge.
And Nirvana, sorry.
Okay. So
she went to college with school with Kurt Cobain.
I was going to say, I have a Nirvana story.
Oh, shit. Did I spoil it?
No.
Damn it.
It led right into it.
Okay, great.
Now, I didn't go to college with Kurt Cobain because he didn't go to college. I was actually in junior high.
I knew that. And
at that time, he lived in a little town that was not Aberdeen, which is where everybody associates him. It's actually Montesano. And before
Grace Harbor representing.
I'm a Grace Harbor girl. Before his parents got divorced, they lived in Montesano until he was out in 9th grade. So I knew him in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And I was actually a grade above him, I believe. But the school's so small, you have classes with people who are not in your grade sometimes. So he was a very nice guy. He was very quiet and shy and never someone that I ever would have thought would be interested in music. He wasn't in chorus. He wasn't in band or anything like that. This was a thing him and his friends did as kind of a garage band thing. And so when he came out big, I remember one time some friends of him who were also in a grunge group called the Melvins, who I also went to school with them. Buzz Osborne and Matt Lukin were in that group. And I remember they invited me and a friend of mine to the 4th Ave Tab in Olympia. Kurt was going to be there. And they were like, come listen to our band, the Melvins. And my friend and I went, and we thought it was absolute garbage. It sounded terrible to us. We were 18, 19. I was like, and we were chorus people. We were Broadway music
show tunes. You were in the show tunes. Yeah.
And I was like, this sounds like an affront to all of my senses. It sounds like disrespect.
My ears.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I was young. I didn't understand it. And now I look back on it and understand why it was revolutionary, why it was I just couldn't relate to it at the time. It just wasn't my style.
Yeah.
So, but it was Angie's style.
We just, in Australia last month, we were staying with the hockey team in Newcastle, and one of the guys was just playing playlists, and we stumbled across Temple of the Dog.
Ugh.
And I got it, it was Chris Cornell and Eddie Vedder as a tribute / fundraising album.
Yeah.
It was like a
something they did.
Yeah. And I got him to play Say Hello to Heaven. Oh, that
Chris Cornell. That.
I would say that his tone of his voice is my favorite male vocalists I've ever.
A lot of these singers, especially male singers who were in these bands, a lot of times they actually had a lot of vocal training. And when you listen to the notes that they can hit and the power and support that are behind them, it's like a lot of these dudes were like classically trained.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just them screaming or whatever. It actually is quite musical.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that Axl Rose did was like...
Yeah. There's some real...
It's like the Mariah Carey.
A lot of guys in those bands sing in women's ranges.
Oh, Adam Levine can sing higher than I can.
You hear men trying to sing these at karaoke, and it does not always go well. I sing like Journey stuff or Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah.
You know, like those are in my range and very comfortable. And I sing high for a woman.
The funniest song I think you can karaoke is Tequila, because it's just there's only like a single word and it's not a song. And it's pretty funny to like if somebody insists on having you. I also did we did a photography getaway in Tennessee last year, and they did like a karaoke night. And we were all like drinking, and Peter Hurley was there. It was like, and he was like, "You have to karaoke." So my friend Tommy and I did "I'm Too Sexy," because Peter used to be a model, and you know how it talks about like I'm a model.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we did "I'm Too Sexy." And Peter was in he has an alter ego named Hurley Peterson. What is it?
That's great.
Yeah, Hurley Peterson, I think. And he has like a creepy mustache and like a weird wig and stuff.
Nice.
But we got him to like dance in the background because Peter used to be a model. So it's like funny. Yeah. So I did "I'm Too Sexy," which is mostly talking.
Okay, now just remember when we're like paraphrasing and singing the words of these songs, there's a good chance they're not correct. We're just riffing.
We're also haven't copyrighted or licensed any of it, so it's probably good that we're not right.
Yeah, perfect. We're doing little excerpts in our own reimagining. Yeah.
That was just us being silly.
Well, if you didn't figure that out on your own. So I think as we grow up and as we mature and have different life experiences, we become attracted to different kinds of music.
Okay.
And it's part of our evolution as humans and sometimes we go back to things that we used to like for comfort or to trigger those memories. Sometimes we find something new or going through something in our life. I know after I got divorced, the last time before I met Phil, my current partner in life. My final. I was doing a lot of like woman empowerment songs.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was listening to a lot of that. Not the "You Destroyed My Heart" ones, the ones of I can do this. I would do it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Those kinds of ones.
Yes. Why wouldn't
I was going into those, and you're going to hear me roar, and just all them.
Mine is "Girl on Fire." This girl is on fire.
Yes.
Yeah, love it. Because I am on fire. Yeah. Like in a good way.
Sometimes you just find something that suits where you're at that moment in your life. Sometimes it's vulnerable. Sometimes it's an anthem of something you want to be. Maybe you're not quite there yet. So it's just that power of music. And I go through times when I like musicals. I like musical theater. I like that sometimes a musical is a whole story. Like if you've seen Hamilton, it's actually telling you a historical story.
Yeah.
But I like sometimes that a bunch of these songs hooked together actually tells a story.
And I love that.
Giving, who these characters are and building that. So I know a lot of people do not like musical theater, but I love it. I like that storytelling aspect.
So one of the cool things about having friends that are musicians or singers is, and I'm sure you've had this, where you're looking at one of your friends performing and you're like, my God, my friends are talented. Like, do you just like pinch yourself? Like, I cannot believe that person is my friend. Like, it blows my mind sometimes. When I was in Vegas a couple of weeks ago for WPPI, my friend Jerson, who is a stellar photographer, he photographs celebrities and stuff. He's also a composer and a pianist.
That's nice. Yeah.
And I went to like this little side class thing that they were doing, and I heard piano. I was like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. I thinking it was a track. And I turned and it was Jerson playing. And I got so emotional. And I like got videos of him and he was like, oh, thank you for getting that. But like sitting there watching him play was such a beautiful moment because I've known for years that he's a composer and a pianist. And I've listened to his stuff online, but to see him do it and like the energy coming from his fingers and how graceful he was. And it was just like one of those, oh my God, that's my friend.
Yeah.
How fucking cool is that?
Our hobby is we sing barbershop and we've done different kinds of singing. So, you make friends with all these people who do these things. And it's like some days you just kind of take for granted just exactly how amazing and talented your friends are. And then you'll have those moments of clarity where you'll really listen to them or you'll tune into them and just go, wow, they are so amazingly talented. How lucky am I that I get to witness?
Like, this is my friend.
It's part of their journey,
just like, watching your friends sing on the stage, just like, that's like, if I watch her on stage, I'm like, that is my best friend up there performing. And it's just like the pride that you feel is almost like that of like watching your child do something. Yeah. It's just like, oh, I cannot believe how talented my friends are. It blows me away.
I know. We have so many friends in our barbershop world who are just amazingly talented. But the fun thing about singing, now that we've just talked about how amazingly talented all of our friends are, I hope that everybody out there who wants to sing recognizes and realizes you can be in a singing group, you can be part of a chorus, you can be in a group that sings, and you do not have to be a rock star.
You don't have to be Alicia Keys.
You don't have to be any of those singers who you admire. You can just lend your voice to a group. If you don't feel comfortable singing as an individual, there are group opportunities for you to go and make harmony and beautiful music with them.
And that's what I love about a cappella is the harmonies.
Yeah,
like the 4-part harmony is like, it either gets you or it doesn't. I call it an eargasm where it's just like, oh, fuck, that was so good. Like it was so like when chords align and like it's perfect harmony and like they stack and you're just like,
you get a visceral
reaction. Like your body, you chase those goosebumps. Like goosebumps are your body saying like, yes to this, like hit say.
And you do not have to be able to read music to sing music. You do not have to be able to read music to create harmony or sing a harmony part. I learn everything by ear. And when I was little, when I was talking about singing when I was little, when I would hear music on the radio where they had like Eagles or a group where there was multiple parts being sang or harmony parts, I could hear the melody, always heard the melody, but I would hear all those other parts. And that's what I wanted to sing. I was like, well, that other person has that thing down. I want to sing one of these other parts. I didn't know.
Funny.
But my ear was drawn to harmony. And that is what I really
Can you naturally harmonize? Like if you, I've never had that skill set. And then like I struggled with, like I can hear that something is a harmony, but I can't pull it out. Like when I was listening to Shallow, I could hear that Bradley Cooper was on the harmony. I could not extract it.
Right.
So like if I was just singing his part and then I just pull it, I kept dropping the octave of her and I was like, no, that's not what he's singing.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find it and I was like hunting and I was like, oh. And but I sing harmony really well when I've learned it. But I can't just listen to it and be like...
You can get a learning track. Yeah. That's how you learn if you don't read music.
Yeah.
And you need to learn it by ear.
I'm like second grade level of reading music. Like I know what the notes and the values and stuff and I can plunk it on the piano, but I can't like...
Yeah, I can't just say, oh, it's this. But
or if you say, oh, it's a third.
If you want
you're singing a third up. No.
We're giving you permission.
Yeah, we give you permission.
Because sometimes if you think you're not that great... I've had so many people say... oh, I'm not a good singer. And then I'll hear him sing. I'll go, what are they talking about? They're a very good singer.
So I was told that I was a terrible singer by my, I was in like the church praise band, like choir and stuff. And I had said that I wanted to do a solo. And he was like, oh, honey, nobody wants to hear just you. Said with so much love. You're awful. And I was like, so I didn't sing for years because of what he told me. And fun fact, you can hear my speaking voice. My tessitura is pretty low. He had me singing high soprano.
Well, no wonder.
And we'd be doing like the Easter descants or whatever. And he's like, somebody's not hitting that note. And I'm like, I can't hit it.
Yeah, it's not physically.
And then it turns out I'm a bass. I can sing men's bass. I have a super deep voice. And in that range, I kick ass.
Yeah, she's a rock star in female barbershop because she can sing so low.
So kick rocks, Darren. I'm really good. And I actually told him, I saw him a few years after I started singing a cappella, and I was like, so I'm singing. And he was like, really? And I was like, first of all, don't look so surprised. First of all. And I was like, yeah, fun fact, I'm a bass.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh.
So people who direct singers never say that. Just make sure you're putting them in the right voice placement. But if you think you're not good, but you want to do it. Now, if you're not good, or if you are good and you just don't want to sing, because not everybody has a passion for it. Both of my kids actually can sing and can carry a tune in a bucket and are pretty good, but they're just not, it's not their thing. They're not interested. They have other things that they like. So I've never forced that on them or said, oh, please sing with me, please sing. I don't do that because they have their own jam. But if you think, I'm not that good, but I just really, really, really want to, then do it. Like, try it. Just try it. Don't think that you're not good enough. And also, it is something you can get better at. The more you do it and do it with other people and sing with other people, you just learn stuff and you get better.
Yeah, you're going to grow and your skill level will change.
We encourage this.
We do.
And we were talking about music through the decades. And like, I'm not really up with a lot of things that are current right now. Like when I'm in the car with my daughter and she has radio stations on or my granddaughter's listening, I don't really know a lot of the current stuff. Sometimes something's catchy and I'll pick it up and I'll learn it and I'll be like, oh, or my granddaughter likes it, so I'll learn it. So I'm still very open to finding new artists and stuff, but I'm also have so many memories of great music that I just replay all the time. I replay a lot of stuff from the 80s because that was when I was a teenager. I replay a lot of stuff from the early 2000s because that was when my daughter was a teenager and she liked Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and NSYNC and all those boy bands and all that stuff. I like a lot of that music because she listened to it around. Yeah. So, be open to being surprised that you could like a new genre because you can. You can.
Yeah, I agree. And just follow wherever music leads you. Like it is it'll take you down beautiful paths and always be open to listening to new types of music.
That's
how we grow.
That is how you grow. And just remember, we talked in the beginning about those things as a children that we are exposed to. As a children. As when we were children. And I exposed my kids to the music that I liked. And it's so funny because my daughter likes George Michael and she likes Prince. And that was a lot of the music we were listening to when she was little. I liked a lot of that stuff. Duran. So she's in tune to a lot of that kind of 80s butt rock. She loved Def Leppard.
Oh, yeah, same.
We listened to a lot of Def Leppard and stuff. So you will expose and influence people in your life through the music that you love. And that's kind of a fun exchange. It
brings people together.
With other people.
Yeah, I love it.
So we want to hear some of your favorite singers.
Are there some that we didn't list that you're like, oh my God, you guys have got to listen to this person? Because I'm always taking new recommendations.
Please let us know.
Yeah.
I would love to hear who's on your playlist. Who do you listen to? So let us know.
Okay. And now we're going to do our rapid fire questions and I'm going to start.
All right.
Since we're on music, if you were an instrument, which one would you be in?
Saxophone.
And why?
I just think it's a really interesting and weird instrument that makes a lot of interesting noises and sounds. And I don't know. It's got a lot of keys. You have to figure it out to play it.
Okay. And then second one for you. We know you're a huge coffee fan. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite tea?
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey. It's
a darker, stronger tea. And I actually really do like it.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, with lemon. Okay. So we'll try to stay on the musical theme.
I mean, tea doesn't have anything.
I think we'll do that. Okay. So if you could go on stage and sound exactly like one of the following, which one would it be?
Oh, God.
Barbra Streisand or Pink?
Pink.
Any reason why?
She's got more of a fierceness rather than a not that she's not polished. Like Streisand is very polished,
for sure.
but Pink is like raw.
Yeah, authentic.
And I love that raw kind of vocal, like Janis Joplin kind of thing. Like I love those raw vocals that are just like, like a guttural, like you can feel it in your cells. Yeah.
Okay, love it. Okay, so we'll do one more musical.
Okay.
Question: if you could sing in any musical, could be the starring role of any musical, what would it be?
Oh my God, you're assuming I've watched musicals. Grease. Grease.
There you go. That's cool. Fun.
That's a good one. Okay.
Okay.
I haven't watched very many.
Okay.
I'm a bad.
Future
musical.
podcasts will be on musicals, and we'll talk about it.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do a watch party.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
We could do that on Patreon. That would be fun.
We do have a Patreon. You guys check out our socials. If you have any comments, leave them on any of our socials. We have Linktree. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook.
They're in all of our show notes. We'll have all of the links.
Yeah, so check up on those, and we'd love to hear from you. And thank you again for your time and for spending it with us.
Thank you so much. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. That's a wrap on this episode. If you laugh, related, or just need more, hit subscribe.
Check out the show notes to find us on socials and YouTube, and join our Patreon for exclusive extras.
And remember,
We're still hot, just in flashes.